Good morning. How are you, Martin?
Good, how are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. Can I just start with team news first? Any updates from last week?
No, as we are. Amanda Niddleton is back with the squad after suspension, so yeah, we're good. Apart from that, we're good.
Good. Have you had time to sort of reflect on the last game and where it went wrong for your side?
Yeah, I felt we didn't get going. If I'm honest, there's no excuses from us. We wasn't good enough with our pressure, which we usually are good with. With the ball, I thought we were okay. We had some moments in the first half, but flashes of moments. We conceded too many transitions, far too many. And then second half, we changed structure and we had more of a foothold in the game for a good 20-25 minute period. We capitalised and got the goal. And then again, we allowed another transition and we got punished for it. And yeah, if we're being honest, we didn't deserve anything from the game.
Yeah, it felt quite uncharacteristic from your side. Are you expecting a big response, a reaction against Man City?
Yeah, I hope so. And we should get a response because it's not, like you said, it's uncharacteristic of ourselves to be the way we was. But you can have those games in football, Emma. That's part and parcel of it. We can have an off day and we can't have too many of them, and I don't think we've had too many of them, if I'm honest. And it's more, you have to embrace it. You have to look at it and evaluate what we done. I evaluated as a coach on how we approached the game, how we set up, and what we done. And that lies with me. And then making sure we go into this game with confidence and belief to put that result right.
They've obviously had a fantastic season as well. Why do you think it is that they've really cut above the rest and they're leading the league at the moment?
Yeah, maybe just the flexibility and freedom Andreas give them. They're so much more dynamic tactically. They're so much more versatile tactically. And then you have some really good cutting edge. If you look at their goal scorers, I think they've had, 8, 9, 10 different goal scorers in the season. So their goals are coming from an array of areas on the pitch. And they have a very dangerous front line and midfield backing that up. And then their depth within the squad supports that. And but yeah, I think more their tactical flexibility and their freedom in their play is something that you can definitely see.
Wish you all the best. See you Saturday.
Cheers, Emma. Take care.
Thanks, Emma. Helen?
Hi, Martin. You don't seem your bouncy self this morning.
It's 8:45.
Okay, fair enough. I think the only game where Spurs got thrashed was the City game at the very, very, very beginning of the season, which I think was 4-1 or something. Is that right?
5-1, I think. 5-1. Yeah.
Okay, I obviously forgot the goals. But it feels like apart from you hitting a bit of a bump in the road, they did as well. Because 0-0 against Aston Villa, who you thrashed 7-3, I think it was. That feels like quite a step back, and it feels like they may be missing Asagawa.
Yeah, I think I'm not going to look at that game in isolation and think they've had more of a setback. It's more of like a blip in performance, maybe, and you can have that. As I said, we had one on the weekend. Every team's entitled. We're human. The players are human, and we need to make sure that we perform to a high level. And I think any player, any team that would have Yui Asagawa would definitely miss her quality and an array of talent she has. And then the same with Fujino as a winger, probably one of the most direct and creative forwards within the league. So you'll miss key players and within your squad, and if you had those two, they would definitely miss them. But they have a wonderful squad depth that they have to put in those positions, and I think they maybe have a little bit of an off day against Aston Villa, but that doesn't make us prepare for anything less. We prepare for Man City at the best when they're scoring, when they're fluid, and when they're very offensive, and then when they're organised defensively and hard to beat.
They've had their foot on the gas, as Emma was saying, the whole season. They just absolutely put to the floor. But is there anything where you've really improved since the 4 or 5-1 thrashing?
I think in that game before we conceded the first goal, we were on top, and you concede one, and maybe that game come a little bit too early for us in terms of changing mindset, mentality, building confidence again, and self-esteem in the group after the previous season. And we've come a long way. If you look at the games we've played in since that, if you want to call it the top four and the teams above us, we've come in confidence and grew in mentality in them games. We've we've come out with results in them. We've been ahead in some of those games. So yeah, we've pushed those games as much as we can, and I think we've grew in as a team in confidence and belief, in stature in terms of tactically, and then collectively in terms of identity, we've definitely grown. And if we're going to be on the end of a good result here at Man City, we need to be our very best.
Brilliant. Maybe Everton was just like a blip, I suppose. You can almost...
Yeah, and we have them. You have them, Helen, in football. I can't expect perfection from the players and a consistent high level performance of 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 every week. It's impossible, and there's going to be games where you go in and you're maybe a little bit off it physically, you're off it technically, and what you do hope is that you can push through those games, and those moments of brilliance maybe win you it. But yeah, in this game it wasn't ours, and I wouldn't say we've had many of those games this year. And I think that's a big step and a big credit to the group of players, because to come off what they did last season to this year, I think there's a big change.
Brilliant. Hope you have a well weekend.
Thank you. Cheers, Helen.
Chris.
Morning, Martin. Hope you're well. What's been the key message to the squad this week since that defeat against Everton, and what have you mainly worked on this week?
Yeah, a response in terms of the output, in terms of our output, especially off the ball. We have to be harder to beat, whether we step on and press, Chris, or we don't. We have to be more organised to not allow really simple balls going through us, or really easy passes going over us or through us. So yeah, being more organised and more disciplined with our defending. Being more aggressive when we get up close in the duels. That was probably the part. When we got up close, we wasn't physical enough and didn't really stay in a fight. And then that's not being like us, because we're usually up against teams like that. So more just the small basic principles that we're asking of the group when you're defending. And then with the ball, just being more fluid, a little bit bright and a little bit higher with execution technically, and then tactically being more flexible to adapt and interchange within the game. So yeah, we've just focused on ourselves again this week and changing the behaviours from last week to what we want.
That game earlier on in the season at Brisbane Road, losing 5-1 against City, would you say that has been your most difficult moment this season, and have they been the most difficult opponent this season for you?
Yeah, I think, in my opinion, they're probably the most complete team. If you're looking at them from back to front, the balance of age, experience, quality, youth, they have absolutely everything within that squad, and the talent they possess is high level. And I think not just that game, any game we don't win, because I'm really disappointed. I think that one definitely gripes at me, because I felt like we had a foothold in the first part of the game, and then you concede and we just kind of suffered. We didn't really grow in like a mentality in that game, and I think after that game it sets us up for a decent run of games. So we need to make sure now that the game we've just had against Everton now sets us up to push forward. We put in a good performance. We lift our levels compared to what they were against Everton, because we need to do that, and we have to do that massively. And if we do that, we give ourselves a good chance, because we believe we have the players and the quality to hurt them when we get in those areas.
Can I just ask you about Ella Morris? I know you're doing the
Yep.
news. Is she still in training? Will she feature in this game, or has this game come too soon?
This is too soon. The next one, Arsenal, she should be available for some sort of minutes. It's just more giving her the opportunity to be in full contact training for numerous weeks before we push her on. And she's been around the group now for just over a couple of weeks now. So you just want to give her the opportunity to get comfortable and gain confidence in herself again on the pitch, and get some kind of continuity with training and so on, and those kind of processes. So yeah, this one a little bit too early, but next week she should be available for minutes if everything goes well in that week.
That's good to hear. Lastly, the Women's Asian Cup final, Japan v Australia. Will you get the opportunity to watch it? Of course, this game kicks off at 9. Yours kicks off at 11. Will you be able to watch it, and what have you made of the performance? Yeah,
we'll try. We'll have a look at it. I think for Claire and Toko and Micah, it's been brilliant. They've gone away and they've performed. They've played the games. They've contributed to the team's success. And now both of those teams in the final. I think it'll be a good contest. And yeah, I wish them both the best of luck, both teams, and all three players the best of luck in that final. As in football, there's usually a winner and there's usually one who doesn't come away with anything. But when that's the case, we'll just make sure that we support those players in the right way when they come back. But they should be hugely proud of what they've achieved in a short space of time for the country.
Thanks, Martin.
Cheers, Chris. Thank you.
Dan Pentland.
Martin, hope you're well. You mentioned
mentioned about obviously Man City being a complete team. I think when you look back at that game, Lisbon Road, 5 different goal scorers, another 3 different players provided the assist that day. So, you know, the threats are everywhere. They've obviously scored 32 goals at home. How do you begin to kind of plan and manage that? Because, you know, there's so many dangers on that pitch at the weekend.
Yeah, we have to try, we're going to have to defend diligently, Dan. The concentration levels will have to be high. And we know we're going to have to suffer without the ball. They're the highest possession-based team in the league. They dominate the ball quite well. They now have a total different variance to their play. So they will play short and they will play direct if they need to. And that's something that's definitely changed on Andrea. They will go back to front very quickly if they have to. And then with the quality they possess in that attacking third, as you said, they score goals consistently. They create big chances. Their relationships on the pitch are very, very good and understanding of one another. So we know that we're going to have to suffer at times, but what we're definitely not going to do is just kind of sit there and surrender. We're going to be brave with the ball, play the way we want to play. It's not, one game doesn't define us as a group, but what does define us is how we perform to go forward. Because growth is the big thing for this team and club moving forward. We've set a really good foundation now of what we want to do and where we want to be. We've changed a lot of things, which then takes time, and that's took time. And now we need to make sure we continue to build and move forward to be the team that we want to be.
Just wanted to ask you a little bit about kind of the messages that you give the team this time of year. I know you won't let the standards drop, but you're obviously a long way away from sixth. The team have obviously got a couple of games in hand, so it's going to be quite difficult to pull that back in. So how do you kind of keep the team kind of fresh, kind of minded, and keep on hunting?
Yeah, I think that's your job as a professional, as a player. If you're not motivated to compete when you come up in a game, whether you have something at stake or you don't, or you can move in the table or you can't, or you're in a competition or you're not, your job as a professional is to stay focused and have a strong mentality towards not just winning something, but performing, developing, growing, and then trying to push for something. And I think if we have that within the group, which I wouldn't allow, and I don't think the players will allow, we will have no lapses in concentration on that. We represent a wonderful club and a big fan base, and something that's rich in history, and we need to make sure that we don't allow our moments like that to come in, and that definitely won't come from my